All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, want to kick off this morning, first of all, by saying there's a couple of people on here, and I don't have to mention their names. Good Lord above knows their names. But I just want to say that there's some prayers uplifted to you and some and your family going through some tough times, and we love you. So, praying for you. Our word for today is values. Values. And this was a good one. This is always a good one for me. We did values one time before, but I want to talk to you about it. And I've got some notes and on a couple of different places. But values, if you look at the definition, by the way, let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm sorry, in the chats and in the comments. I meant to say that. Values are a person's principles, their standards of behavior. Really, it's one's judgment on what's important in life. And you know what's interesting is a lot of us would have the same kind of core values. I believe birds of a feather flock together, and the people that come on the coach's corner are we're flocking together, right? We're like-minded in a lot of ways. But I think we would see key values that maybe are a little different, which is great, right? Because God made us all unique and different, and it's okay. Elvis Presley, how many of you, I won't sing a song this morning like Blue Suede Shoes, but I don't live far from Elvis Presley and where he grew up. But Arlene, I'll save the singing for later. But here's what he said about values. He said, values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same. Isn't that cool? Fingerprints. No one's the same. That's powerful when you think about all the people in the world. But values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same. But you leave them all over everything you do. All over everything you do. And when I read this, I thought about two things. The magnificent power of the Creator. And I also thought about my 19-year-old son when he was a kid, leaving fingerprints everywhere on the bed. It's like, son, can you wash your hands? So, all right. Choosing core values. I had an example I wanted to share. I got to be really quick because I want to give Andrea a little bit more time this morning. But I met a billionaire before, and I've told some of you about this. You might not remember, but I met a billionaire before in Vegas. And the billionaire today actually grew up and had to go earn it. He didn't, like, it wasn't just given to him. He wasn't a trust fund, but like none of that. But his father was a dentist. And so he watched his father being a dentist, and he's like, what am I going to do? And so he started a company, and the company actually went inside and created the dental offices, the chairs, everything. Like, it was a lock and key job. And then it grew to where now he's all over the world. His company is. But when I sit in a room with him in Vegas, very personable guy, one of the things Scott said was, you know, values are so important, core values. And he said, sometimes the world tells you, oh, you don't need to say that, Arlene. You need to, like, no. Times have changed. Don't say that. He's like, but core values are what's important to you. And he said, I have some core values in my company, and I want all my workers aligned, all my employees, all my people that I know the color of their carpet aligned with my core values and our core values as a company. He said, so we start every day on something like a Zoom where everybody comes together all over the world, and they share and start their day with their core values so that they know going into the day what is most important in their company. Isn't that cool? Like, that's the power of the moment right there. That's the power of going, we're going to take 15 minutes and we're going to gather together, and we're going to move in a way throughout the day because of gathering together. It's going to make our day a better day. We're going to affect more people's lives in a positive way. And as he said it, I'm like, holy smokes. Like, that's a great thing. So choosing core values, here's what I want to leave you with. Number one, when you're thinking about yours, find a list of values. Like Google core values, like see what sticks out to you. Is it, I mean, is it faith? Is it integrity? Is it contribution, generosity, gratitude, love? I want to lead with love. I hope that's one of my core values. Is it responsibility, security, peace? Like, you can find all these words for your core value, but the ones that stick out is the ones that sending you love, right? Those are the ones that really mean something to you. And we can be different. Number two, think of 3 to 6 people you most admire or love. I would say think of 3 today. Like what are their core values? Why do you love them so much? You know, I talk about Andrea all the time being the glue. Really, her core value is adding value to other people. So many times I see her not adding value to herself because she's out there adding value to so many other people. You know, she puts herself last in a lot of ways. And, you know, Myra, she has a core value of being honest. Don't call Myra and ask her what she thinks if you don't want to know the truth, because she's going to tell you. That's just her core value is honesty. So think of those people. That I just shared 2 of mine. Number 3, observe yourself and learn. Like, think about you. Consciously, like, think about you, think about the decisions you're making in a day, and think and try to pull out some values out of your daily walks. And the last one, I'm sorry, Andrew, I'm a minute over. Look back at the best times in your life. What was the best times in your life? And see if they point to specific values. Was it a trip that you and your parents took and you remember it when you were a kid? Like, what values came out of that? You know, I had a value one time. I went in a shop, stole some bubble gum, come back out in my dad's car, got a whipping of my life, went back in, had to turn in some change to the lady and tell the owner of the store I stole her bubble gum. And that core value has stuck with me forever and always. I don't know if it was a whipping or the embarrassment, but both of them together stuck with me. So here's the thing, go back and look. I think about awards that I've won that sits behind me in this office. It's core to me. It's recognition. It's an achievement. It's that somebody had the generosity to make, to buy, and to give. And I'll always remember what they said around those plaques or awards. Those are core values. So, Andrea, I'm sorry. I'm 3 minutes over. I'm turning it to you.
Well, guys, you might have to hang out for a minute because I've got a good one for you, I think. So I've got a crazy coincidence happen this morning. So back in December, I bought myself this little journal thing that's like supposed to help you. I don't even know, just whatever. I bought this thing. And then I got it in January, and with it, it came with an app that every day it like prompts you, it sends you little videos. And I'll tell you, today is January 27th, and I've never opened the app. But something made me decide to open it today. And guess what the lesson was on? It was on values. And I went, oh my gosh, like what a coincidence. So I listened to this lesson, I watched this little video, and completely scrapped what I had planned today because they did a much better job. So loved it. And it said, one of the things that makes knowing our values so important is they serve as a guide and a framework about who we are and how we live. And when you think about the big picture of your life, what do you hope for it to be about? And one of the things that it said, and I went, oh my gosh, was that it's so easy to get lost in the what's of life, right? The what's. What am I going to wear today? What am I going to eat today? What am I going to do for a living? What kind of house am I going to live in? What type of impact am I going to make? Like what? But what our values do is that they help us think about the hows, because we may spend a lot less time thinking about, how we treat other people, or how we're going to do our work, or how we're going to build this meaningful life. So discovering our values is a way to define those hows. And I just love that. So goals and dreams, they come and go, right? Like we all had crazy dreams, or maybe, I don't know, I was going to be a ballerina maybe when I was 7. Then I realized like, that's not going to happen. But if we live our lives by our values, then that's going to be a huge marker for a life well lived. So find out who you are and do it on purpose. That's Dolly Parton. Love that. And the core values are the fundamental beliefs of any person, any organization, and they guide our behaviors. So some examples. If you are a person that values excitement, right? Like you're like, oh, just, you just really value excitement. Well, then you're more likely looking for change. Like you're looking for something different each day. Your job might be, I don't know, a firefighter. I have no idea. I can't even relate to wanting too much excitement. So you're going to live your life that way. But on the flip side, if you're a person that values peace, that values security, well, your whole life should look pretty different than that other person. So, your career, your vacations, like it's all going to look a little bit different. But if we understand our core values and we understand how other people's core values are different, it can help us really relate to other people in a much more solid way, build more solid connections. And then if we look around, kind of on the flip side, if we are surrounded by humans that their core values are completely different than ours, then we might need to find a new room to put ourselves in, right? We might need a new circle. So 3 questions that I'm going to ask, and one of them kind of piggybacks on what Coach Palmer said, but 3 questions were the assignment today for this little booklet that I have. And I'm going to ask you guys. So jot these down. I don't know, save this for later, but I'll tell you, I'm going to work on it because I thought it was really good. So, well, actually 4 little questions. So the first one is, if you had to describe yourself to a stranger, what would you say? Right? So I'm talking to somebody brand new. What would I highlight as my most important characteristics? What would I say I believe in? Okay, so that's number 1. And then 2, and this kind of piggybacks, who are 3 people? Think of 3 people that you admire. They could be people that you know really well. They could be somebody you just met once. It could be somebody from history. Like it doesn't matter, but just think of 3 people, write their names on a page, and then do a bullet point of what it is that you admire about them, right? I admire their honesty. I admire their work effort. Is that the word? Yes. Anyway, whatever it is, write down what you admire about these people. And then number 3 is to look at those lists and see where the overlaps are, right? I've got, I work really hard, or I believe in strong integrity, whatever it may be. Faith is important to me. Like, see where those overlaps are and write that list down. It could be huge, it could be tiny, right? But write down where you overlap. And then the last thing that you want to do is look at that list, right? Look at that big old list or little list, whatever it may be, and don't overthink it. Just quickly read through and circle the 3 that hit you the most, right? The 3 that you go, oh my gosh, that one. Circle those. And now you have a starting point, kind of a launch pad to your core values, what spoke to you the most today. And you can refine it, you can change it. Bye, Peyton. You can modify it as time goes on, but this is a great starting point to bring clarity and intention into your days. So thank you for that. That's all I got.
Andrea, powerful, great message. Thank you for that. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you again. We value you in this community. So have a great Thursday. We'll see you back. Finish the week tomorrow. See you. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Love you guys.
Great.
Okay.